Hey guys, I'm Alan with Mr. Z's Music Lessons. Today we're going to be doing an acoustic tutorial for Resurrecting by Elevation Worship. And if you'll check in the description of the video, I have a link to the chord chart down there if you want to follow along with that. And just be sure to view that on a computer for the formatting to work right. So we're in the key of D flat, and our tuning, we're going to go ahead and tune down a half step just so we can play this pretty much exactly like it is on the live version. So we'll tune down to E flat, A flat, D flat, G flat, B flat, and E flat. And if you were to play this in the key of D, you might just, don't tune down and you can still do the same thing. If you were to play it in the key of C, I would probably just not worry about this part and just probably put a capo on the 5th fret and just play G shapes. So for the intro and the verses, kind of when the song is softer, we're going to play these chord shapes that I'll show you, and then whenever the song is louder, we'll just kind of play conventional chords. So for the intro, the way we'll play our G chord, we'll put our first finger on the 3rd fret of the E string, and then our 3rd finger on the 4th fret of the G string, and then whenever we strum this, we'll strum from the E down to the G string, and we're going to try to mute that A string just with the first finger, just kind of let it touch it. Then for our B minor chord, we'll slide up to the 7th fret of the E string and with the middle finger, and then the 7th fret of the G string with the ring finger. We'll strum the same strings, still try to mute that A string. Then for our A chord, we'll slide down to the 5th fret with the first finger of the E string, and then the 6th fret of the G string with the 3rd finger. And we'll strum the same strings. Okay, and then our strumming pattern, we're going to strum down, up, down, 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 up. So it sounds like this. Then we'll go to B minor, do the same thing. Then for the A chord, we'll do it for one full measure. Repeats. Do this 4 times. Time. And that's it for the intro. Then next we'll go over verse 1. And I forgot to mention that I did make a cover video of me playing through the whole song, so if you want to hear that, I'll have it linked up at the top of the screen and then also in the description. Sometimes that's helpful just to hear it all the way through and kind of put all the parts together. So for verse 1, we're only going to add one new chord, which is our D chord. And for this one, we'll put our first finger on the 10th fret of the E string and our 3rd finger on the 11th fret of the G. We'll strum just from the E down to the G, still muting that A string. And our strumming pattern for this is the same as the intro. We just have one measure of 2/4. So whenever we sing the word glory, we'll just play one measure of 2/4 on that one. So I'll try playing and singing through this for you. So it goes. The head that once was crowned with thorns is crowned with glory now. The Savior knelt to wash our feet. Now at His feet we bow. So that's it for verse 1. And for verse 2 and 3, it's really the same thing, just the only difference is the very last D chord, instead of just playing for 2 beats like that, we'll go ahead and play it for 2 full measures of 4/4. So that last D would sound like this. Then after you finish verse 1, then you'll go into the turn, and that's just going to be the same thing as the intro again, just 1 time instead of 4 times. So hopefully that wraps it up for verses 1, 2, and 3. Then for the chorus, we're going to play more just kind of conventional open chords. And I'm going to assume that you guys know how to play these, but I'll throw a tab up on the screen just real quick, just to kind of show you where my fingers are. So feel free to take a look at that, pause it if you need to. So we're going to do the same strumming pattern here. So we'll start off with G, and it's going to be like half of a measure for G, half of a measure for D, and then a full measure of A. So it'll sound like this. Same thing again. Okay, so the singing with that, it goes, your name is victory. All praise will rise to Christ our King. Then repeat it. Your name is victory. All praise will rise to Christ our King. And we'll do that same thing for every single chorus, so that just kind of repeats each time you play the chorus. And the next part that we'll go over I have labeled as turn 2. So we just have one new chord here, which is our D over F sharp. So for this one, we'll put our first finger on the 2nd fret of the E string, and our 3rd finger on the 2nd fret of the G string. We'll strum from the E down to the G. And for this whole turn, we'll still just keep that same strumming pattern. Really for most of the song is that strumming pattern. So we'll start off on G, then D, then A for 3 beats, 2, 3, then D over F sharp, next D, and A for 1 measure. And that's it for turn 2. On the bridge, we'll pretty much do the same thing as turn 2, just we won't always go to that D over F sharp chord on beat 4. So it only happens like every other time through the progression. So we'll do like those kind of, these unconventional chord shapes for the first 2 times through the bridge, and then the 3rd time where it's really loud, there we'll go just go ahead and play our kind of more open sounding chords. So I'll go ahead and play and sing through that for you. So we'll start on G. By your spirit I will rise from the ashes of defeat. The resurrected King is resurrecting me. In your name I come alive to declare your victory. The resurrected King is resurrecting me. By your spirit I will rise from the ashes of defeat. The resurrected King is resurrecting me. In your name I come alive to declare your victory. The resurrected King is resurrecting me. By your spirit I will rise from the ashes of defeat. The resurrected King is resurrecting me. In your name I come alive to declare your victory. The resurrected King is resurrecting me. So that's it for the bridge. And then our instrumental is just going to be the exact same chord progression that we played there on the bridge. We'll do it 2 times through. Then for verse 4, it's basically going to be the same as the other verses. The only difference is we're going to add a D suspended chord in here. And we're going to thin out our strumming quite a bit too. But that D suspended chord, we'll play like a D, and then we'll put our pinky on the 3rd fret of the E string, just in case you don't know that one. So yeah, we're just going to strum basically like half notes for a lot of this, and then we'll hold the A for 4 beats just like earlier. So it'll sound like this. The tomb where soldiers watched in vain was borrowed for 3 days. His body there would not remain. Our God has robbed the grave. Our God has robbed the grave. He suspended 1, 2, 16th notes. 2, 3, 4. Then after that, it'll just jump right back into the chorus again. So hopefully that helps you with verse 4. Then lastly, we will go over the outro. And here we're just going to play those still open chords. Our chord progression is G, D, and A. So this part's pretty simple. Here's what it sounds like. 2, 3, 4. And And guys, that's going to wrap it up for this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope some of you guys are playing this for Easter. That's kind of why I did this song. The song came out, I guess, a little over around 3 years ago, something like that. But I've always loved it, and I just started my channel about 1.5 years ago, so I thought, well, let's go back and cover it because I do really like this song. Well, thanks again, and I'll see you guys in the next one.